Let's see. Donald Trump might be in denial about who won the 2020 election, but his pollsters aren't. Two of them have performed autopsies on his defeat, and those autopsies are now public. One of his pollsters, John McLaughlin, published an analysis in the fake news channel Newsmax in November. Another report that was written by a consultant and Tony Fabricio was posted on Monday by Politico, and neither pollster blames the former squatter, but the numbers tell the story. Trump destroyed himself, basically. The autopsies identified two reasons why Trump should have won but lost. First, based on self-identification, the 2020 electorate was significantly more Republican than the 2016 electorate. Second, the public satisfaction with the economy favored the incumbent. But both pollsters found that people who voted in 2020 thought that Trump would handle the economy better than Joe Biden would, but obviously that didn't happen. McLaughlin's analysis, based on his post-election survey of people who voted in 2020, noted that 61% of these voters said that they were better off than they had been 4 years earlier. Yeah, bullshit. Despite this, Trump managed to lose one-third of the 61%. Fully 20% of all voters thought they were better off today than 4 years ago and did not vote for the squatter Trump, McLaughlin had wrote. Fabricio had analyzed the exit polls from 10 battleground states that Trump had won in 2016. Florida, Iowa, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas stayed with Trump in 2020, but Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin had flipped all to Biden. Collectively, in the 10 states, Fabricio computed a massive swing against Trump among independents by 17 to 19%, and a similar shift among college-educated white voters by 14 to 18%. Likewise, in his national sample, McLaughlin found that Biden won the moderate 62% to 36%. But Trump repelled these voters, even those who were happy with the economy. In McLaughlin's national sample, Biden was viewed more favorably than Trump. Among voters who disliked both candidates, the pollsters noted dislike of Trump was more dominant, and three-quarters of Biden voters had cited the character or personality traits as reasons for their voting decision, and the reasons they gave were mostly anti-Trump anyway. McLaughlin had wrote 7% of the respondents said that they had voted mostly against Biden, but 19% said that they had voted mostly against Trump. Fabricio had found similar what they call results in the battleground states, but voters said that by a 4-point margin that Biden wasn't honest and trustworthy. Yet neither is Trump. Trump's deficit on the same question was much bigger, 14 to 18%. The exit polls also indicated that Trump inspired millions of new voters to turn out either in person or by mail to get rid of him. Fabricio had noted that collectively in the 5 states that flipped to Biden, Trump had outpolled Biden among people who had voted in 2016, but what killed Trump were the new voters. Biden won them over by 14% in the 5 decisive states. Trump also misjudged the politics of COVID-19 throughout the campaign, but he focused rapidly on reopening the economy, often at risk of rekindling the pandemic. That turned out to be disastrous for the country, but also for his candidacy. Fabricio also found that in the 10 battleground states, majorities of voters, and that they prioritized stopping the spread of the virus over reopening the economy, and the virus was the top issue in these states. The pollster observed, and Biden carried those voters nearly 3-1. In the exit polls and in McLaughlin's survey, voters said that by significant margins that Biden would handle the virus better than Trump, which so far he kind of has. Fabricio flagged two particularly foolish mistakes in Trump's response to the virus. One was basically criticizing the masks. In the 10 battleground states, voters who favored mask mandates, like Biden's position, outnumbered those who opposed mask mandates on Trump's position by a ratio of 3-1. The enormous pro-mask constituency went to Biden by about 30 points on average in the 5 states that flipped to him. But Trump's other dumb move was his persistent slander against Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. In the 5 states that flipped to Biden, 72% of voters approved of Fauci's job performance, and 63% of those voters went to Biden. But any incumbent would have struggled with the pandemic in an election year anyway. But Trump had everything else going for him. Despite the setbacks, the economy he inherited was still strong. But the economy remained strong until he fucked it up. But that's only because he inherited a strong economy from Obama. But Congress and the Federal Reserve pumped trillions of dollars into the economy to prop up households and businesses, but Republicans turned out to vote in better numbers than in 2016, and yet Trump managed to lose. He lost everything because he botched the job, picked stupid fights, and antagonized most of the country. His own posters have even confirmed that.